Nice. That was super cute. Okay, I really appreciate that one. Has a community, but look, so much of the Breakers Revenge community is already dedicated to Fight Game. Why are they coming to something else, right? And I think the kind of sales of the Breakers collection have been very indicative, because they did a big marketing push as well and didn't really pay off that well. So I'm thinking, like, so if we're looking at the successful recent game, what this man is doing. But they're dedicated. They really want to show this off. Now, come on. Okay, can I get a dash punch in? Nope. Can I get it now? Damn, went low. God damn, that was so close. It's Kane's 9HK all over again. Man, it's a yeah, it's a thing. That's hilarious, man. Yo, okay. So charge back forward heavy punch is apparently her super. Right? I would love, dude, like, I'm, like, legitimately, I'm not even huge into the Bleach series. Like, it's cool, but, like, it's not my favorite. Like, I will... Right? I will take the Dragon Ball, and Hunter x Hunter over... yeah, over something like Bleach or Naruto personally. Come on, Ray. Oh, Jesus Christ! Yo, he's got the anti-air grab too. He's got a big clap. Oh no. Why does he have fucking meteor shower? Yeah, and Burp, I think if you're a fighting game player of a certain vintage, or who plays games of a certain vintage, I think you will understand a lot of the, like, okay, I don't understand this though. Hello, everybody. There we go. I'm unmuted now. How's it going? Happy Friday, everybody. I hope y'all are doing well. We are chilling tonight. Yo, it is... Thank you. How you doing, friend? Appreciate the follow. It is a very exciting Friday evening, man. Yeah, we are being blessed with an early access playtest for the new character from Konsui Fighter. Yeah, I'm super stoked for this one. Konsui Fighter is a game that we have played a bunch of here in the basement. We've talked about it a lot. We're fans. We're fans. Let's just say. Yeah, we have the opportunity to. Everyone actually has the opportunity to check out the new character Haku, who is out in early access this weekend. And honestly, okay, so this is one of the things I want to say, where I'm just like, indie devs, please do more of this. Like, there are some developers out there who are doing a really good job of, providing early access to their games, right? I mean, like Beast of Mystery, it's like has early access even before it was on Steam. Had an early access on itch.io that you could get. Help support the development, give people a chance to play the game. But Steam offers these things where you could do like weekend playtests and betas and stuff like that, right? And so really, I would love to see more indie developers take advantage of this. I'm so happy that Matrified has, for example, a free demo that has like a rotating cast of characters on it, right? So you can check out a bunch. It's a free to try model, right? And I don't know. It's something that's really important in the world of, I think, indie games in general, but fighting games in particular, right? Like the try before you buy stuff has slowly dwindled over the years, right? Like, I grew up in the era of Blockbuster, where I could go spend, $3 to $6 and rent a game for, 3 to 7 days, and try these things out, see what I liked. Right? It's you don't know what you like until you try it. And with fighting games in particular, there's so much about it that is like, you need to get your hands on it to know if it's the kind of game that feels right for you a lot of the times, right? So there are so many games that I've played that when I first look at them, I say to myself, not for me. But then I get really into them. Whereas other games where I'm just like, oh, this is like the theoretical perfect game for Mr. MKL. I'm talking about you, DNF Duel. And then you play it, and I am just like immediately bounced off of it, right? And it's like, that happens. You need a chance to try these things out. And so I'm glad that the Konsui Fighter devs have been like, okay, look, we've been working on this game for a very long time, and we have a couple more characters that are about to come out, and let's get it into people's hands. Man, no, you know how like no battle plan survives the first encounter with the enemy? Well, like no game design doc survives the first encounter with a fighting game player. So you need to get these games in people's hands. So I don't know. I, for one, am very excited that we get to try out a new character. And I am hopeful. We should start the clock, man. What is the time to TOD/time to infinite? I think that's usually my metric for how deep am I going down the rabbit hole. But yeah. I'm gonna hop into a call with some of the developers of Konsui Fighter now. Actually, we're gonna talk a little bit about this game, and then we're gonna talk about the character, and we're gonna take a look at what he has to offer. So let me go see if these fine folks are available, and let me start a call here.
I am not a fine folk, but I am available.
Oh, you're not a fine folk, but you are available. So what do you... who's this? Please, introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, I am Logan Jensen. I'm one of the I work at Cerseian Studios. I didn't I've done some development anyways. I'm ahead of like community management and all that stuff, but I'll have another developer here soon, or our lead developer here soon to join in. But yeah, we're super excited. We launched Haku to playtest this weekend, and we're really looking forward to what you and the community, feel about, or like what your guys' opinion of this character is. I'm super curious. Uh, I'm looking forward to seeing what you do.
Oh yeah, I am excited. I have not. All I have done so far is boot up the character to make sure that everything ran fine, and I walked around with them. So
Yeah.
I'm saving it. I'm saving it for this stream here. I want to give you guys my like unbridled, visceral reaction to it. And then yeah, and then figure it out. So yeah, Logan, you're the. Thank you first of all for joining us here in the basement. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're kind of the community management, PR kind of stuff is what you do, right? You do the
Yeah.
relations. So I'm curious, like, what was the thinking? I was just talking about how you've chosen to do a public, an early access weekend trial on Steam, and I'm kind of curious, what was the thought process behind that? Why is this something that you want to do as developers? And yeah, what was the thought behind it?
Sure. Yeah. So w- like you started with this stream, we have been working on this game for a long, long time. And by long time, I'm talking about like almost 10 years now.
Yeah.
And so it's a project that is super close to our hearts. This is um, our second to last character.
Okay.
So it's also in that like we're seeing the end of the tunnel in regards to the game being done.
Of course, of
Um,
course.
but the biggest thing that has helped us is going to conventions like Combo Breaker. We go to there's a local anime convention where we are. Um, and the biggest valuable thing that we get is feedback from the FGC. And so this was basically uh, that, except now we can do this more on a broader scale for just you don't have to be at one of these conventions to try.
Yeah.
We can launch it to everybody who has it, and we can get that feedback.
Yeah, that's something we've spoken about before, how a lot of your experience in showcasing this game has been at more, generalized gaming conventions. And then you said it wasn't until really Combo Breaker that you were getting more direct access to the FGC itself, right?
Right.
What has the difference in response been? And like what kind of benefit do you get from one group versus the other?
Sure. So, I mean, because how we are designing this game, we're definitely trying to make this gear accessible to as many people as possible.
Hmm.
So, the like when we go to the shows of the few times we've gone to PAX, the several times we've gone to our local anime conventions, um, there are some of the FGC crowd in there, but
Hmm.
we talk to a lot of people who just aren't. And there's so many times where it's just like, well, I don't really do fighting games and all that. And once they start playing with it, they're like, "Oh my god, this is really fun." And like that's definitely one of the things we're trying to do is like I what I want you to do is be able to and not be part of the FGC is pick this up and uh be able to pick up the controller and just get right in and it just feels natural.
Yeah.
In regards to the feedback from the FGC, theirs is definitely valuable for the tweaking and the balancing and all that definitely make it feel like a competitive fighter.
Hmm. Okay. I mean, and how would you say the fighting game crowd has reacted to the game as a competitive game? I mean, first of all, I would like to say that there's so much about this game, like from the art style to the kind of the lore behind it, down to the mechanics as well. But for like the crunchy nerds like me, right? Like, yeah, what is the response been? Because I would say that Konsui Fighter does some things that are atypical to a lot of traditional fighting games, but then embraces a lot of the history as well. So, yeah, what's the reaction been?
The reaction has been it's been positive for the most part. We have been getting a lot of really good constructive feedback of just like and you are one where you use terms that I do not know because I'm not that into into the mechanics that much. That is where our lead developer definitely has a little bit more knowledge into that.
Yeah.
But um uh overall, again, like combo breaker, because that was our first, like actual FGC uh event.
Hmm.
uh we couldn't have asked for more for better feedback from them. Like it was really good. It especially the people that hung out to play for an extended period of time. So
Yeah.
like uh they they would sit down and really like just dig in and really give us that valuable feedback.
Yeah.
So
Shout outs to
um
Handsome
oh,
Phil and Torball.
right, exactly. Like Handsome Phil, after he took second or third, I can't
Third place.
remember.
Yeah, I took second,
Third.
and then yeah.
And so after the tournament, him and I, well, he played for about 3 hours after that, and then um, I joined for another maybe like 45 minutes to an hour.
Hmm.
Hey, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
It's that fight pad. Um, and so it was for me. It was fun to play with him just because I'm like, all right, I've seen you play in this tournament.
Yes.
Now I need to figure out how to combat what you're doing.
Hmm.
And so it's a great learning experience for me because then it makes me more confident, to be able to speak on these things.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, yeah, I think Combo Breaker is such a great event for one. And I mean, the crowd there. I was there last year. Like full disclosure, I was there. I did compete in the Konsui Fighter tournament. This year was my lovely prize for second place. It's become my just my standard like daily fight stick at this point. So so big shout
Yeah,
outs for that.
I don't know, that small pad, it's so dope.
Oh,
I
it's great.
like I got one of the bigger ones, but I'm like, man, my hands are too big for that fight pad. But I'm like, man, I would rather just have that. I need to just get that and put it as like a display piece in my room because like it's, I don't know,
Oh,
especially with at Tommy, it looks
oh,
it's sick.
yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, they came with like a bunch of different art plates on it. It's delightful. But yeah, no, I was gonna say, like I was saying, the crowd there is great, and they are able to give such great constructive feedback, right? There is, I mean, I've spoken and worked with a lot of developers, and yeah, like there's such great value to people just like not even necessarily like specifically giving you the feedback, but you just being able to observe players in their natural habitat, break down a game, right? Like, it really shows you what they're paying attention to. And I'm curious, do you feel that that has kind of influenced the direction of your development significantly, or even in any kind of way over the years?
I mean, yeah. What is it? Shane, who will be joining here soon. Like one thing that he does a lot of the time when we do these shows is he doesn't even talk. He more just like watches people
Hmm.
and watching how they play, and the that's definitely one approach to see like, okay, so again, how easy is it for somebody to just pick this up and play?
Yeah, no, amazingly
But
valuable
it's also
feedback for
nice
sure.
because since we can do so many changes, I think there was something that you caught at Combo Breaker and we fixed it like that evening.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, there was some weird throw thing, I think is what I recall. Something related to the
Right.
throw
Yeah.
that yeah, that you folks like overnight were like, all right, let's let's get this settled. Yeah, no, but it's, like I said, I really appreciate the kind of attentiveness. You guys have been you've really engaged and become a part of the digital basement community, which I really appreciate. and have been, it's been great being able to interact with you, as a player, as a person, kind of thing. And yeah, seeing you do things like these public playtests, like making sure you're going out to events and talking to all kinds of players, and are creating a game for the wide variety of fighting game players out there. Is just really encouraging, and I appreciate it. So big shout outs to you guys. I'm glad that you're, like you said, you're kind of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, in terms of development at this point, right? Because I guess, where are you at this point? What would you say your plan is, going forward for Konsui Fighter?
Well, it's a great question, and somebody joined the chat.
Yep.
Oh, well,
I'm assuming
hello.
you guys can hear me. I'm muted. How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Not too bad. Yeah, so for Konsui Fighter, we're kind of at a point where we're wrapping up some of the last heavy lift content for the game. So obviously we've got Haku out this weekend in playtest form. We're still actively working on Khan, our final character, which is quite a bit more involved than a typical character. But he's coming along pretty nicely now. And we've also got a couple last standing gameplay features, like our in-game friends list and matchmaking through the game, and the remaining story content to kind of get wrapped up and polished, put together. But yeah, we're definitely treading toward that last subsection of content. So yeah,
It's fantastic. I know it's very exciting because, I mean, like, I'll be honest, like, I didn't discover Konsui Fighter until relatively recently. I believe it was Super HC in chat. Shoutouts, by the way. Hi, Super HC. Who introduced me to the game, and we took to it very quickly. But yeah, when I learned that it had been in development for quite a long time, I was like, oh man, like, how did I? It struck me as kind of weird. Like I'm pretty tuned into these things, but this one escaped my notice, right? So
yeah, I mean,
shame on me.
Part of it's well, I was gonna say, I think part of it's that for a good leg of that, we were exclusively on Google Play. Our Steam presence is kind of more recent, right? I think we're a little over a year now being on Steam, a year and a half, somewhere in there. So obviously we kind of expected to start getting more eyes on the game, and get a little more interest as we expanded our audience to some other platforms. So, and it's been great. We've definitely had more people getting engaged in the community, and it's been a lot of fun.
Nice. That's amazing to hear. All right. Well, I think I've got the game booted up here. I think I'm gonna hop into training mode. Would you care to give a little bit of a breakdown of what Haku is all about, what your inspiration was? Yeah.
So Haku, I don't want to get into too many story spoilers, because he does have some important notes in the story of Konsui Fighter, but the general consensus for him is that he draws upon the powers of our core cast. And so, just kind of right out the gate, that kind of sounded like, okay, we're talking maybe Mimic Fighter, right? Like, and so his initial build was very much kind of your traditional Mimic Fighter to a degree, where, he would just kind of execute attack patterns from some of the other characters, and we wanted to give him a little bit more of his own unique identity but retain that. So he's sort of morphed into this approach where he has his own unique moveset, but pretty much some trait of the core characters is represented in some form in that, and he's kind of got a diverse set of moves. We wanted to give him, because he's kind of pulling from all the casts, we want to give him, some different capabilities in different ways. So he's got some, pretty fast moves. He's got some meaty hits that draw from some of Kenta's powers.
There you go.
He's got some projectile attacks. So he pulls from quite a few of the different characters' abilities in the roster. But so that was the general consensus for him. And there are some story reasons why that is too, but we'll save that for the future. But
Okay.
But yeah.
Oh, all right. I see. I'm seeing the kind of the connection, right? Right. Yeah. Boulder Bash, obviously inspired by Kenta. You have the birds from our. I mean, I guess from two characters actually, but oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yes. So the Steamwing attack is sort of a nod to Hitan and Yuraku.
Yeah.
Yep. His Boulder Bash is mostly Kenta. His Sky Crusher there, his anti-air, is a little mix of Itami and Shinrao.
Okay.
Yeah, the Spirit Strike move he has there in air is Isamu, similar to his Sword Jab. He's got a Calamity Kick, which sort of mimics Yasuo's 3-point strike with her umbrella. Just kind of repeated rapid strikes.
Yep.
And then his grapple attack, his throw, is a backflip, sort of like Kyoki and some of her more gymnastic moves. So there's a little bit of everybody in the DNA of Haku.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I mean, like, I think you will oftentimes there was a point in like fighting games, right? Like towards the end of Street Fighter 4, where you had so many of the Shoto clones, right? Where there was Ryu, Ken, Akuma, Sakura, Dan, freaking Oni, whatever, right? Like it kept going. So at some point, I think people were like, "Give me a new character," right? So, but there is that kind of, I don't know, there is kind of something almost essential about this archetype, about the master of all, I'm better at your moves than you are kind of character, right? So this is a very, like, I don't know, this is a very interesting, unique take on that design, right?
Yep.
Without just pulling moves from other characters, you can still yeah.
It's like back in the day, I played a lot of Tekken 3, got Mokujin in there doing the straight up, mimicry, but we wanted something a little more like inspired than directly derivative. And I think we've hit a pretty good balance. Obviously, we're still kind of tweaking balance and stuff, but
yeah,
pretty happy with where we landed on the structure of most of the attacks for Haku. So,
all right, well, this is intriguing. I gotta see. Okay, what is our boy's super? Oh, it's a giant area of effect. Okay,
it is a giant area of effect that can juggle the opponent. I think it's about half screen coverage, so pretty wide, hard to get out of it.
Oh yeah, he pops up too. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, how fast is it?
Yeah, there's a little time in there where you can mess with it, counter it a bit. Also, if you've got some good ranged options, you can usually poke Haku out of it from a distance if you're not pulled in. So
okay, interesting. Yeah, okay. I'm like, maybe I might be able to get a character high enough where I can juggle into that. Okay, so this is something that I've noticed, and I'm curious if this is what the thought process is behind this, right? So you have these like chains here where you can do light punch, light kick, heavy kick, or into heavy punch, right? So you'll see how the heavies don't connect when it's just a grounded string. But off of a jump in, they do connect.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. We got into. I remember you brought this up actually. I think once before, and we looked into it. I think it has to do. Oh man, I'd have to dust off my memory on that. It has to do with the way the timings get modified in that situation. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a. I think because it's either timing or velocity. Like I think because you're jumping in, the initial pushback gets negated a little bit or something like that.
Okay, which allows them to actually connect.
To connect
okay.
a little bit more. Yep.
Yeah. All right, that's it. No, that's interesting, and it's like it's not a problem. It's actually kind of interesting where it's like you can afford to, if you go for the riskier but higher damage jump in attack, right? Then you get a more of a benefit out of it. But everyone still does kind of have these, you can do these light strings into special typically.
Right.
Yeah, so there's
we definitely want to have like a design philosophy with our air attacks having a little more benefit, right? Because we don't have air blocks. At least most characters don't. Khan may have some of that going on, but so you are taking more of a risk traversing via air, but you usually have some different benefits that you can potentially get out of that. So.
Okay, so it's forward punch for this. All right. Ooh, am I?
And some of these, so like that little string you did there with the calamity kick that didn't connect while she was down. Some of those can be quick recovery punishers. Like if the opponent's gonna snap up quickly, there's a couple of moves you can throw out like that that'll just punish if they bother to get up quicker.
Okay.
Actually, that's a fun fact about Kenta's like rock toss. The timing and distance is set up so that if they quick recover from the initial hit, the rock will actually connect for a second strike coming down.
Oh yeah.
There's a couple of situations like that where we've tried to give a little more punish capability to those kind of situations.
All right. Okay, yeah. So this is kind of like my immediate thought with this character is just like I need to abuse the heck out of this juggle.
Yep.
So what is... There's like a projectile. That projectile actually strikes.
Yes, and it's kind of a setup hit, so it's the water that will kick them into the chain there. And one thing to note that we don't have this super often, but that you're in training, so you've got your bar at infinite, but that move does cost meter to execute.
Oh yes, I see it does. Yeah, even the non-EX version.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Yes. So there is a little bit of limitations on how frequently you can.
Because I was like, that would let you easily combo into it. Yeah, combo into super, but absolutely. Oh, yo, we got Torball in chat. Welcome, my friend. How you doing?
Hey.
Yes,
only because
this
you
new
talked
character.
about juggling.
Yeah.
There's a funny story that has nothing to do with Haku, but you talked about juggling. There was a time, it's been fixed since then, at one of our PAX events. There was a person who was at the booth for a majority of the day. Like,
okay,
I was super honored that he was there. I also felt really bad because I'm like, dude, PAX is really big. Like, and there's a lot of other people here.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was like his life mission to get 100 combo hit with Atami, or not Atami, sorry, Isamu in his sword toss.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure he did it.
That's fantastic.
And at that point, we're like, okay, well, obviously that's something we need.
We should maybe look at that.
But that kind of also goes into what's really great about, the conventions as well. I know this is the beginning of the conversation, but like he talked up our game so much at the booth and was like, oh yeah, you just do this, this, and this. And I'm like, see, that's what makes it nice for me. One, because now somebody else is doing my job for me.
Yep.
But again, it's somebody who's really, who obviously enjoyed the game that much to spend that much time in the booth. All right, sorry. Now you can go back to Haku. My bad.
No, that's all good. I do love some stories. Okay, so yeah, you were saying that initial projectile, does that need to hit for the column to do any of the follow-up hits?
I don't think it does currently, but I think they're harder to connect. Like, I think the direction of kick out from each one, or I guess from the initial one, because there's two, doesn't set up as well, but I'd have to check and see.
All right. I'm figuring this out.
We pull some funky physics stuff in that move and a couple other moves where, like, when it hits, we'll actually calculate like the physics to knock it toward the target position accurately.
Okay.
So things like Itami's chain grab, they'll like pull you in.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So.
Yeah, that is great. You're right, because it works. It's great for like Oki pressure, right? So if you get this knockdown, right? Oh, well, not in the corner, but right? That is like perfectly spaced to just take up space. But he also has these great, like, he just seems to have decent range. Like this poke is also something you could just threaten with if somebody wants to go in.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's been a while now, but you guys introduced the parry mechanic.
Correct. Yep. Yeah.
Could you go over the parry mechanic, maybe?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's similar to Third Strike. So instead of tapping back to defend, you tap forward just before hits, and you'll parry as long as you're within the timing window. We also have perfect parries, which are basically like purple parries. So yeah, recovery is near instant on those, and you're basically shrugging off the hit as a whole when you parry.
Okay.
So you're almost guaranteed a significant frame advantage if you parry a strike. Yeah. Yeah, and if you're in training, we do have some of the new advanced training features in this build as well. I don't know how much you want to clutter up the screen, but we do have our frame track now, which shows the actual like frame data and frame advantage on hits that you can enable in here. If you go over to the second
attack data and frame data.
Yeah, the overlay. So
here we are.
You can turn on like frame data in there, and that'll give you like the actual metrics. So
awesome.
Yep, every time you execute an attack, you'll get a readout of the individual like active idle frames. Frame advantage is that plus or minus at the end of the attack name. So yeah.
Oh, excellent. This is I was talking about, like the more crunchy kind of player who is into that. This is perfect for that stuff. It's funny, I have been like, that idle frame counter is a feature that people recommend. They're like, people request that feature all the time. To me, as someone who doesn't make games.
Yeah. Yep, we've also got like record playback mode in here now too, if you want to like record a little snippet for the training dummy to execute and practice that.
Excellent.
First strike, blocking and parrying, so you can test combo strings. Yeah, a couple other nice little additions. So.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, no, that's gonna make a lot of people happy. Yeah, I see Steamy in there in chat saying that the water pillar effects are really nice. I will say, yeah, this is an absolutely gorgeous game. What was the kind of inspiration behind the art style and what you've done with your animations? Because like you've mocapped all of these moves and have like hand-drawn animation on top of it, correct?
Yeah. So our art production process has gone through a lot of evolution over the years. When we first started the game, we had kind of an open artist call, and we had basically just a little paragraph descriptor of the characters, like a couple of the core characters, their backstory, their fighting style, some of their, you know, thoughts about their appearance, and let the artist submit for that. We ultimately went with Jas, our lead artist, and principal artist. I need to stick to proper terms. At the time, he really didn't have a lot of experience doing animation. We also, being, you know, pretty big retro fighting game fans, you know, drew a lot of inspiration from how Mortal Kombat did their capture, and so we basically set up a green screen in the basement. At the time, Logan and I were living together, so we just kind of co-opted the basement to be our filming production space for the game, and started shooting live references of each of the characters doing their moves. And so, yeah, we had a little preview monitor, recorded everything. At some point, so we've talked about this a little bit, but it is my intent at some point for us to make the making of Konsui Fighter video production. We've still got some B-roll and like stuff from back in the day. But yeah, anyway, so those frames got chopped up into like individual frames. We handed those off to Jas, and we sort of started off doing a bit of a rotoscope style approach where he would sort of like not trace over the frames, but use them as the baseline for that. And Jas's skill as an animator just took off like crazy. I mean, we got to a point where that degree of, you know, filming wasn't necessary per se. You know, we still stuck with the core of the production being filmed, because that did provide us some like real life reference. I think there's a little bit of like natural notes here and there kind of baked into some of the animations as Jas worked in, but he definitely got to the point where over the years we were able to kind of ease up the way that we conveyed the move structure to him. So we kind of do sketch references. There were a couple crazy moves that it's like, we're not going to ask a person to try to do this because we don't know anybody that's that gymnastically inclined. So we got opposable mannequins that we used to shoot like frame by frame reference of the actual move structure. So it's been really cool. But yeah, I mean, Jas is at the point now where we can generally give him a pretty high level outline of the structure of the animation, and he just nails it. So
nice. All right.
His art style is kind of what determined the look of the game. We originally started out with Jas just doing the character art. But as the project went on, we kind of needed a good resource for backgrounds, and he was willing to take a stab at that. And so he drew a lot of, you know, kind of dreamlike, like watercolors and painted look to a lot of the environments.
Yes.
Because this is kind of in the inner mind of our lead character. So it gives it kind of a dreamlike appearance, and I think it jives really well with his style. So.
Oh no, it absolutely does. And it is a kind of like visual look that, and like design style that you do not often see in fighting games, right?
So it's really funny that you say that, because when we were going through the process, we got down to two people. One of them had it. It was really good because it looked almost like current Street Fighter-y.
Oh, okay.
Like, it was solid. I was like, man, this is really good. But the reason why, because we voted, the three of us voted for who to be.
Yep.
I picked Jas because I don't see this old lady being a fighter. Like, I just don't see it.
Yeah.
So that's the route we need to go.
I think we all picked Jas because it was something a little unconventional for the scene, you know, and a little more like, oh man, I don't know how to describe it, but like a little more detailed. Like, I gotta be careful how to describe it. Yeah, you know, like If you look at, yeah, sometime we'll have to share some of the like concept art, but yeah, it like Jazz's style reminds me very much of like some of the earlier like Final Fantasy character art and stuff like that. Like a lot more oriented to it.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, that aesthetic just felt like it was going to provide something unique. So,
I mean, absolutely nailed it on that front, I gotta say.
So, and when he was talking about the like the real shot references, I still have bruises, all right, where to do a hit animation, I don't know if it was Sean or Shane,
but I think we swapped off. So
they tied because we didn't have rope, an extension cord around my waist, and then yanked it.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
And that was the hit.
Yeah. I did the references for Isamu and Itami, and yeah, man, having a cord running across your chest and then just randomly yanked is painful.
It's painful. Yeah, I can imagine.
The things we do for game development, I'll tell you that.
Oh, the things we do for our art. No, I absolutely get it. I get it. I was a filmmaker in my young teens and early 20s. I did some reckless stuff.
What is it? There was another one where I can't remember which character I was doing. It couldn't have been Kenta.
Shinrao, maybe?
Well, it was doing the roundhouse.
That was Shinrao.
Okay.
Yes.
And you had to like...
Logan could not, and this is no detriment to Logan, like I couldn't do it. But Logan could not bend his leg in the way that we needed it bent for the reference. And so...
Someone bent it for him?
Having to have like a frame where he was laying on the ground and we supported his foot with a pole to hold it in a position and get a shot. And then even then, I think it wasn't quite lined up where we needed it, or we needed like a subframe added. So I remember just going into Photoshop and cutting out the lower half of his leg from the knee down and like making a frame that like extended. It looked completely ridiculous, but it worked.
That's amazing.
The idea of what we were after.
Yeah.
Here's the visual.
But, yeah. Yeah, we have a GIF somewhere of it. But, yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Well, this is cool. So I've figured. I think I figured out my B&B here. So yeah, like the way I usually go through like learning a character, or learning a new fighting game, right? And like I know enough about Konsui Fighter how like the core combo system works, right? So, right, your jump ins and you get your little chain attack. But like what's interesting is that Konsui Fighter has a like special cancel into special cancel system, right? So you can do a special attack right into another one. So it's always interesting, like the routing process of some characters will want to keep your opponent grounded, others want to get them into a juggle as soon as possible, and like how do you string together as many of these moves as possible while, you know, managing resources. And it's like it's always such a fascinating like brain teaser for me, right? And so yeah, you can see like there are some moves here that like I very much want to use this boulder bash, right? But it's a big boulder bash attack. It's gonna be slow, but it does a big chunk of damage, right? So I'm gonna have to find my way to get into there. But there are some moves that like kind of obviously to me work together, and like this standing heavy kick pushes you so far forward, and so it allows for you to easily get multiple hits off of your like mash kick, right? Like your 100-hand slap here. Mm-hmm. So like was that your intent as a designer to be like, that is kind of, this is the natural flow that I want to create?
Yeah, there's definitely certain move like combinations like that we kind of tried to set up the dynamics to be good connections for that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't necessarily like we set out with a character like, okay, we're gonna have this go to this to this, and like it was more kind of like try to find good points where flow can kind of come out of the structure and provide some options, because
Okay.
you know, we don't want it to just be like there's one optimal chain or one optimal strategy for this character, period. So yeah, we try to strike a good balance with it, and it's, you know, something we continue to refine as we work on the balance and whatnot. But yeah.
All right, interesting. All right, that's cool. I'm glad that I'm like, because this is always it, where it's there's a, I don't know, kind of a push and pull between designer intent and like a player's, I don't know, recklessness oftentimes. Reckless disregard for what you have done.
yeah.
So like, man, yeah, it's always like, I love that kind of conversation between me and a developer, even when a developer's not actually present, right? What is your take on that? Are you guys like, are you happy when someone subverts what your design?
Yeah. No, I mean, I love that. Like, it's great. I mean, like, that's the awesome thing about this is, like, you know, this is kind of like taking our vision for this game and then helping to mold it into what it ultimately gets to be with the community. And that's just so cool. Like, you know, it is a challenge, I will say. Like, as a designer, like, there's certain design philosophies that you follow, and sometimes, like, depending on how far you get with those, like, it may be hard to completely shift gears, or, you know, you may be trying to hold certain things true, and like people are going to have differing opinions about some aspect of that. So it's definitely hard to like find the right balance, but like I think we've done good. Like, this game has evolved so much thanks to the community feedback at events and online, and like, yeah, I mean, it's just better for it.
For example, we actually got some feedback today from somebody within the Kansas City, where we're based out of, the Kansas City FGC, where they were like, what was the exact quote? I don't know what they did between the last time I tried it and the first time, but I'm kind of impressed with how good it feels now.
All right.
And I'm like, that's what makes me really happy, because like we do, again, that just showcases like we are definitely listening to y'all's feedback.
Yeah.
And, you know,
trying to do what we can to make the best game, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But like you said, while also holding true to your design principles, right? I mean, this is something that I feel sometimes as a player with even a small platform, right? With like, I don't want people to design their games for me, right? I want people to design their games for them. And like, I don't know, like sometimes I worry that like, yeah, the community response can sometimes, you know, push developers in directions that they might not want to go. How do you deal with that kind of friction, right? Because I think it exists no matter what.
Yeah. So oh no, wait. Okay, no, I was hitting unmute on your stream, thinking it was unmuting me. You can also hear me on Shane's mic. That's where I was talking. My bad. So at least when I do it, and Shane, you can answer how you do it. I definitely go about of trying to have them understand where we're going with like the route that we went. So for example, I'm sure the first thing that you probably noticed when you tried this game was, where's the crouch? Or why am I not crouching? That's probably been the biggest thing that we've heard whenever we go to conventions is like, well, why is there no crouching?
Yeah.
And so trying to just educate them on like the design choice. Most of the people are then like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But then there are some that, you know, that aren't, but that's okay. But
how
that's at least
dare
how
you
I
take
do it.
away my crouching?
I mean, I feel like we haven't heard that much in recent years because people are getting more accustomed to games not having that or having very different like setups, right? That don't necessarily fit the normal mold. But yeah, for me, I don't know. It's just like generally if somebody's like not digging something, I just try to like get a conversation going with them to understand like what's not working for them and why. Like I've talked about this before, but like our CPU fighter logic, like it was kind of really bad in its early forms. It just did not work well. And we had a moment at one of the shows where somebody was kind of expressing that, like, this is just not good. And I like went over and kind of chatted them up of like, okay, well, like, can you kind of step me through like what's not working for you? Or and that entire exchange just kind of prompted like a complete like reevaluation of the way that we approached our CPU fighters.
Okay.
And led to like a brand new approach that turned out great, and also allowed us to quickly implement our rollback from scratch and some of the other features in the game. So like those kind of things wouldn't have happened if we hadn't have engaged with the community on, you know, some of the things that weren't working for them. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, I try to be really open to where people are coming from and get a perspective, you know, like you can't make a call on design philosophy if you don't like, if there's a counter philosophy not being expressed, like, I don't know, like, yeah, I think it just serves to benefit to get those different perspectives so you can, and there, you know, there are some things that we've kind of stayed from on, like Logan mentioned, like, the original intent for the game was to focus on bringing that like classic tournament fighter experience to mobile. And when we tackled that, like we were really trying to come up with a control scheme that felt like a traditional gamepad on touch only, without sacrificing like some of the mechanical depth that you can have.
Absolutely.
And so the downside is that like where that led to is like we're not gonna have a crouch. And so we kind of try to evolve a lot of the game design around that. But yeah, it's one of those things, like at this point it's baked in, like that is fundamental to our setup. But I think we've found some good ways to work with that and run with it and find an interesting way to like provide some counterbalance to that. So
and there's nobody who loves more baked things
than lunch.
What is it? There was, I'll remember, because you like sparked something and I was like, oh yeah, and then I sat here for too long and forgot.
And then it's escaped.
I guess that's another kind of talking point with the person who was just like, you know, this isn't working and I can't figure out why. And, you know, Shane sat with them for a while to get that feedback. And it's same thing with like, well, your game doesn't have this. And it does. They just haven't figured out how to do it yet. And that alone is just feedback of like, okay, so whatever that thing was, we need to make it easier or more intuitive so that it should just they should be able to figure it out.
I was going to add, that is one thing, going back to your earlier question of like what's next or what's left on the road. Like I think one thing that we are finding that we need to put a little more time into here is like new player onboarding. Just like what is your experience being brand new to the game? Like how are we easing you into learning the mechanics and like getting into the loop of like playing around to the game? So we've got some thoughts on that. We obviously have like our tutorial content in the game, but there's some other things, some quality of life things that we're planning on working here to just kind of help ease new players in and make the experience of like picking up the system a little more intuitive.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think, that is something that a lot of games that stray from the, I guess, you know, traditional fighting game standards, right? Like they're like, I mean, you know, if Street Fighter even if you look at Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, you know, Tekken, look at like the big 4 or 5 franchises, they've kind of set the bar in terms of how things are supposed to work. So the more you vary from that, the more players are likely to say, hey, why doesn't your game have X, right? I think that's why you oftentimes get it. It's what happens when you remove motion inputs or, you know, crouching or whatever the case may be, that you will see players go like, oh, why not though, right? And so, yeah, signposting what you're doing and why you're doing it becomes even more important because you can't rely on the kind of legacy knowledge there.
Yep. Yeah, and actually, it is interesting kind of talking about how the game has evolved a little bit. Like, even though we don't have crouching, we've like somewhat recently, I think this like summer, worked in sort of a standing defense for down, back.
Yes.
Because like that's just like a staple, right? There's certain things that as like fighting game players we expect or expected to feel a certain way. And so like I think the disconnect was like, okay, like I want to hold that down back and like hold my spot, be defensive. We just didn't have that in the system for a while.
Yeah.
And so like I think since we've added that, like we've gotten a lot of good feedback that like, you know, yeah, it's feeling a little more
it feels
people,
yeah,
what you expect, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, no, I think that's a real big point of friction for a lot of players, right? Is when they're like they do the thing that and they don't get what they expect, right? And it's like, even though that like I don't know, there's a certain amount of it's incumbent on the player to figure out what the developers are putting down. But like, yeah, that's just like, why can't I down back? Like sometimes that's just a bridge too far, especially when there are so many games out there for people to play, right?
Yeah.
So, Ko Bastine in chat here asking, so was this to avoid some kind of option select in the game, some technical thing to not allow down backs?
No, I think it was just kind of an evolution of like the fact that we didn't have down like as a control, like we just didn't have down.
Yeah, in like the mobile version, right?
Right. Like we started off with our on-screen controls that were basically like left, right, jump, punch, kick, and then you have your strong variants of that. So like we just didn't have the input, and over time we evolved to map to controls as we brought it to Steam and also added controller support on mobile. And then we mapped some things to down. We do have some slight variations where like certain input mappings on controller leverage down.
Yes.
Where obviously on touch they don't. They have slightly different inputs. And then like, yeah, it's just kind of evolved as we've gotten more feedback and refined it. So yeah, now we do leverage that. We have an equivalent on the touchscreen controls, and it works pretty well. So I think we landed a pretty good medium.
Yeah.
And just so the people that are watching who haven't seen the mobile version, so if you're looking on screen right now, those black bars that you see on the bottom on the left and right, those are where you would have the touch controls on phone. So the left has your forward and back, the right has your punch and kick, and then we implemented like swipe down features into both of those to do a dash, a jump back or a dodge, and then a strong punch or a strong kick. So we tried to implement basically almost 8 buttons with only 4. And so once again you mess with it, it feels pretty solid, at least in my opinion.
Okay, well, this is great. I think I should take. I mean, I don't know if any of you are free to play online. I would love to get some matches in, but otherwise, I could take this through the arcade mode.
Logan's handing me a Steam Deck right now.
All right, perfect. So it is a 4-button fighter KO. So there's light and heavy punch, light and heavy kick, and then a dedicated super button and burst as well. Right, so I guess technically
maybe
6.
I'm not using the term 8 button correctly. My bad.
Where am I going here? Versus network. And yes, and so, to chat, hello, welcome, everyone. I am, of course, Mr. MKL. I am joined by some of the developers from Konsui Fighter, and we are just going over their new character, Haku, who is available in as a early access weekend. So you can go to Steam right now and try out this character yourselves. And yeah, go support some of your indie game developers, friends. It is more important than ever to support the art we want to see in the world. So go do that if you're able to. And if not, hey, you can just chill and you can ask questions. If anyone's got questions about the game, about the characters in chat, feel free to drop them. These guys will be happy to answer them. Oh. So yes, Isamu, the sword-wielding character, for all you, Marth fans out there. Yeah, KO. Absolutely.
So Shane is muted right now.
All right.
But he was like, Logan, you need to give me something else because the D-pad is killing it.
This D-pad is like push. I'm making it work.
That's the Steam Deck for you, but
yeah.
it's still a dope machine. Just
You're gonna plug in an extra controller right quick?
I was trying to be helpful and like already have everything set up so that you could jump right in. But maybe if you want to swap on your PC.
Yeah, that's no problem. Is there air reset or air text? No, not really, right? There's the burst which you can use. But like, characters struck in the air will fall to the ground. Though I'm not entirely sure. Some things will not juggle, so you can't just. It's not like every attack juggles. So I haven't quite figured out the inner workings of the juggle system yet myself.
Here, I'll take that. I'll take that. I will take over, and then let me get. So now I'll take you on.
All right. Oh yeah, you're saying the hit stop is it's light. Yeah. It is pretty light on the hit stop. Oh. I did do a little air reset thing there. What was that? Yeah, or the animations on the block needs to be more visually distinct, right? I think that's something that, I think that you folks have been working on that, adding more visual clarity.
Yeah, I mean, like one thing that you'll notice that I'll go white, like that white flash there.
Yeah.
Because we have charge moves, and that was one thing where a lot of people could not get down was like, well, we don't know what the timing is for those charge moves. And
yes.
So that was definitely one visual thing that we added to like, give that reference for the player.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I know that we're still working on the block.
Like the block animation, hit sparks and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny, especially because they're all light blue and white, especially against Haku. They're kind of hard to see, right?
Right, kind of hard to see.
Yeah. Oh, jump right into that. Yeah,
I will also throw this out that Haku is still very much in beta. So we are, this is our first time kind of letting the community play test him and get that feedback of like, what's good, what isn't, what needs to be tweaked and all that.
Absolutely. So, okay, that's interesting. So he does have like an air reset, right? Like when he gets hit in the air, he does the little, like the lotus position. I'm just curious, do you know if that's like, that's not universal though, right?
Okay, so air resets. So if you're hit by a light attack while in air, you'll do a reset. Most other attacks are going to invoke like a full knockdown.
Okay.
I don't know if that's just what it is for Haku or if he has a special aspect around that, but I don't think so. I'm like pulling up his character data on the side just to spot check stuff, so I'm not misquoting anything. Yeah, he should be following that same convention.
Okay. That makes sense. I think his air reset animation is just, it's just very noticeable, so it pops, and I think in a way that some others don't.
Yeah. He sort of like flashes and then falls.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's interesting. Not you, KO, thinking that they'd like to see more downtime between actions, right? Yes, it is. That is actually true. It is. It's worth noting how fast-paced this game actually is. Where moves are quick, are fast and furious, and like pressure is pretty intense. I mean, you can see here even with Yasu, that corner pressure with the umbrella is absolutely wild.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, it's a preference, not a
characters
requirement.
Usually toggle between Yasu and Kyoki. So, like, for example, that was one thing with I'm now, because I'm trying to multitask, the handsome Phil. So,
Yes.
like I said in the beginning of the stream, I spent a lot of time with handsome Phil at the end of the tournament, because since he was using Kenta, I was like, okay, how do I get past the moves that he's doing?
Mm-hmm.
And the person I could consistently do that with was Yasu, because I could get it to where she wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
So I was getting the speed down so that you couldn't do or try to get that move in. And then I think I did the same thing with Yasu or Kyoki as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was another one, because I was like, there's 4 ways to combat Kenta with those moves. The first 2 was with Yasu and Kyoki with speed. I'm trying to remember the other person I used. I think it was Atami. And then the other one that I was really trying to use, because I think she has the potential to be like the best character if you can really get her down, and that's Hitan.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
If you can kind of manage her birds
Properly, yeah.
the resources of the birds properly, like I feel like she can be pretty unstoppable.
Yeah. No, she has some absolutely
that's
wild
what I
stuff
spend
and a lot of range that, yeah, she could fight a Kenta, and then she can do some stuff up close as well. But yeah, I think it takes a lot to really master her resource management.
All right, after this match, I think Shane's got his setup, so.
All right. Oh. Nice cross. Oh, curses. Missed that down punch in the air. I'm trying to get that off of the water pillar. There we go. Everybody loves the fast umbrella granny. I'm telling you, the granny archetype is
a crowd favorite.
People love it.
Grandmas aren't supposed to be like that. I know. That's why it's great.
I mean, alternatively, my grandma was exactly like that, and it's terrifying. So.
When we saw an umbrella in her hand, we're like, no,
no.
You gave Grandma the umbrella.
I'm waiting. Someone's gonna walk into a Konsui fighter tournament holding an umbrella, and y'all are gonna drop a brick.
I'm gonna be like, nope, I'm out.
Let me bring up for those who are interested in checking out Konsui Fighter. Like I said, it is on Steam. It is on Google Play. If you are, I know some folks in my community are fans of the mobile fighting game. I am too, honestly. I enjoy a good mobile fighting game, and Konsui Fighter does a really good job. I think people used to be really dismissive of mobile fighting games and touch-based fighting games, but like a lot of those problems seems to have been solved in the past, I don't know, 5 or 8 years or something like that. Something happened. I don't know if it was with the technology. I don't know if it was with the like input recognition, but they can do really good. And some designs, some like fighting game designers are doing a great job at accommodating the format. So highly recommend checking it out. Vita Fighters is a great example of that. Yes, absolutely. Like Tough Love Arena, I think is also kind of like a high watermark in terms of how that works. And Konsui Fighter does something a little bit different with like the swipe inputs are. I'm glad that they're, you know, it's being embraced. What the touch interface is being embraced. That's important.
I don't know if I can do this, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyways. In the chat, there is a code, and whoever gets it first can take it.
Hey,
that is a code for the Google Play version of the game. Feel free. Take it, and then you can
see for yourself. Yeah. Yo, thank you so much for the little gift there for the chat.
Yeah.
Bursts. No. Oh no. That was the wrong time to jump.
Lock in the clutch.
He's so also not a what I would say a typical fighting controller, but Shane is using his keyboard right now.
Oh, amazing. All right. Another keyboard player, I see.
Oh god. Oh god. Nope. Nope. Get me up. No.
Oh. So close. There you go, big boulder punch. That reaches remarkably far. I really like that as a, like, if someone is pushing buttons like a third of a screen away, you can still tag them.
Yep. got a little bit of a wind up, but it hurts. No, I know.
Nah.
Yeah, do you... So Shane's coming from...
Like soup.
I was like, Shane's talking, but he's being picked up by my mic, so I was more curious if you can hear him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, he's still coming through.
Okay. Okay. What is it? When I was playing Haku earlier, one thing that I was surprised that
Nice.
I was able to do, I couldn't do it again, but it was his, what I would call his sword toss.
Sky Crusher.
The
Sky Crusher.
So
Yeah.
Sky Crusher into the Boulder Punch, back into the Sky Crusher.
Oh, see, I was trying to get that. I couldn't quite. I can get the Sky Crusher into kick, but yes, that's what I'm aiming to do. Okay, so it is possible.
Yeah, it was like the very first frame of him punching up. That started it. Then you do the Boulder Punch, and then while that's going on, the other move is still animated.
I think it's if you like skip the second part of the Sky Crusher where it nashes in air. So if you do the kick up and go right into it.
I am just getting bopped here.
I was expecting Haku to be like 3 times this size.
That's the Grinch, Logan. That's the Grinch.
Oh, right. Haku grew 3 sizes that day.
I won. Nope, shouldn't have
I will
done
take that bar. Oh.
That's not what I was after. That wasn't what I was after either.
Oh no. Oh. Oh, trade? Okay. No, not like this.
Almost. Had to get that distance though.
I know, that's what I gotta put up the water wall. Oh, that's trouble. No, you got through. Oh, you didn't get through it.
Oh, just barely. Oh.
And just so you all know in stream, this village that they are in, this is supposed to be a very peaceful, very peaceful
place.
and loving village. And we have 2 people that are just not doing that. We are scaring the village children.
Gonna say they will never be the same. The livestock are getting restless.
Let me swap to somebody else. Let me
Oh sure, no problem.
swing back.
So I guess I would be curious, what's your, with how you've you've been playing with him for a little over an hour now, or almost, almost an hour and a half. So like, how does he feel to you? Obviously, this is a live feedback session, so obviously we'd love to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I really like the character's design. I like the character's toolkit. I'm finding interesting ways to like play with them. I will say that his air reset feels weird. It feels like it leaves me hanging for quite a while. And I don't get that vibe from any of the other characters I've played with. So I'm not sure if that is a more of a visual thing that I'm reacting to, or if it's more of a frame data thing. So, but definitely that's like sticking in my head. And this is, once again, in fairness, it's very early for me in terms of playing the character. So,
right. No, I know. I just.
But yeah,
I'd ask.
No, for sure. Comboing into super, like I'm questioning the utility of a super. It's really cool to have this huge area of effect thing, but like with its extremely long startup, I'm trying to figure out where the utility really lies. That's one of the things I'm struggling with the character right now.
So if he went into the special faster, or the super special faster, do you feel like that would be?
Well, it would certainly make it a better combo tool, right? Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be. But like, if it's more of a utility or a defensive tool, then I'm like I said, I think I'm kind of struggling to see where that fits in. How I would use it in that way, because like even that, right? Like, right? Like getting the trade on that, not getting the full hits. I was like, okay, so like if it's fully invincible, then that's something that can like it's worth having, longer startup on it because it has this extra utility to it. Yeah, is it reversal? Is it good for a chip out scenario? Those are good questions, KO.
Feels like a few characters struggle comboing into super. Yeah, I mean that's something that we're still like actively trying to get, because that was feedback that we got at Combo Breaker a lot, where it was is it better to utilize their super or to use the bars to just do like X moves.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of that's still what we're trying to get down.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. And so and that's always and this is always an interesting question. I think a lot of players do like, they want to be able to like damage dump with their super, where it's like, if I have bar and I get the hit, I know I can hit my super button and I'm going to do an extra 20% damage. But like, once again, they don't have to do that. Like, they can be more utility oriented. And I think this feels like it's such a big attack and it does a lot of damage. And it is very much an ender. So I think that's why my brain is like keyed into being like, I should be comboing into this off of a big juggle. But then I feel like I'm fighting that a little bit in the process of getting there. I mean, that said, I just got like a combo into a reset and it was like 50%. So, I mean, it's not like Haku is struggling. But I think it's worth like, you were talking about that. What is is it worth using your bar for EXs or using it for supers, especially since his this will always, like, the pillar always takes beater.
Yes. So right. So and that's actually a great timing point into what was just asked. So super from the water geyser maybe. So the reason why that's not possible is because the water geyser takes one charge, and so that immediately takes it away to where you can't super from there.
Yes.
This is the problem with me trying to tab over to chat.
Yeah.
Use the
Why don't
no.
you take the next round?
Here. Use this mute.
Sure, but it's more that like
It's literally just you touch it. That's what I'm doing.
yeah.
So yeah, I think KO that you might be able to, right? If you can get the boulder punch from the air crusher, right? Or like the lift up move, the big juggle move, then you might be able to get super as well, right? So that would be my thing, where I'm like, if you wanted to give the character more of a direct path to using the super as like an ender like that, that would probably be the way. But alternatively, I mean, it's funny. My immediate thing when I did the super the first time was like, oh, can I control this in the air? Like, can I move around with it? Which might be like, I'm not exactly sure how that would play out, but might be an interesting way to give it extra utility if it was like a big chip damage move that you could like force the corner on someone. Oh, not the birds.
Yeah, because I was wondering if I'm like, well, you do the guys. I was like, do a geyser. You would have to get them juggled just perfectly, but it'd be the geyser charge, and before they hit the ground, do your super.
Yeah.
I doubt that the timing would work on that.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like it's the only way I can think of.
Yeah.
To do those two.
Right. And I think you probably could. I think there is a way, because the whatever it's called, the Sky Crusher lift is so high. I think there might be a way that you could do that if you could get them into the air and then do a second one. You might be able to get enough height that you can overcome the startup. But I mean, but like that's something that might be like, hey, that's cool. Like, if you can do this more technical thing, then you get this reward out of it. But in terms of like, like we were saying earlier on, like signposting things for your players. Like how do you guys intend people to use that super? I think is an interesting question for me.
Yeah, and that's definitely something that could be an approach that we look at. It's like, it's really, it's meant to be a finisher or something like that.
Yeah.
Because that was the one I think we figured, or that was a big one with Yuraku. Because that's another thing that a lot of the tournaments really help us too, is just watching people and like how often do they actually use their supers.
Yeah.
And Yuraku was one where like just not a lot of people were using, just because she has a lot of other moves that utilize a charge, and that was more beneficial.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Right? But that being said, like, she does get, is it extra damage and better frame advantage or something like that, along with her super, along with the invisibility?
Yeah,
like, right, there's a significant buff there. But you're right. It's like, yeah, that question of, is a player ever going to get to it?
It's bird v bird. Trying to get under that, actually. Maybe super should just be a separate resource you get after losing a round if X moves seem valuable.
Oh,
so that's one
Yep.
that's one way that we could look at that. But the only thing is there are other characters where that's not the case, where like super specials are something you can go into, you can combo into.
Yeah, so I'm trying not to get too distracted. But I was gonna add like, yeah, so the whole like ES versus super like pros v cons is definitely something that I've done a pass on with the balance. So yeah, we have tried to balance a bit of the like damage versus charge and like timing potentials with that to make it to where there's kind of a trade-off one way or the other, so it's not like a clear, oh yeah, this is just always going to be more advantageous. But yeah, like combo ability is not really something that I've delved too deep into with it, like specifically.
Okay.
Yeah, I know each of the characters has a little bit different startup balance on their supers. And they usually have some iframes during that period, so
Keep with the kick pressure, man. Yeah. That is that. You know what? And like that could be. I could see that being a direction that Haku goes in. Sorry, I was just thinking with the kick pressure, right? I mean, yeah. If combo ability isn't necessarily the direction you want to go in, and it wants to be more utility, yeah, giving him this like, you know, half screen filling threat, even if a player is blocking, could be good. And he already seems to have some tools that do decent chip, that do good, you know, long range pressure that keeps him pretty safe. Like that is definitely like an archetypal direction that I think he could go in. Yeah, you're absolutely right, KO. That the City of the Wolves does have that problem where some of its stuff is superseded by other systems, which are just so much more versatile, right, for the same resource. I mean, that balance has always been a difficult one to achieve, right? That's why I'm always impressed with games like, I mean, like Murfight does a great job of balancing its systems and having them interact in interesting ways that make you make a choice. But a lot of the choices, not all of them, but a lot of them are like valuable, worthwhile choices for you to make. God, that bird reaches so far. Oh man, I even traded with that. Damn.
Why must we cause further suffering?
That's a problem you dislike personally. Fair, right? Like, yeah, not all decisions are necessarily the ones we're here. Everyone's there to make in, you know, fighting games, right? And for sure, there are games with like really, really big, like mental stack requirements that I think. So some of those games, as fun as they are, they're just too much at some point, right? So yeah, you might have a. Everyone's got their own, you know, comfort zone. Oh, damn.
Rolling kick.
So completely random outside of this, but still fighting game specific. What? I don't know if you care or watch the video game awards, but the games that were nominated, did you see who in the fighting game community or the fighting game category, who was nominated and all that.
Yeah, who it was 2 collections. Right? That's what stood out to me, that 2 of the 5 or whatever were collections.
2 of the 5 were collections, which I'm just like, these are great games. I'm not saying that they're not, but I don't know why they would qualify. These are games from the 90s.
I'm with you on that. I know, right? It's
yeah, it was 2XKO,
of course,
Fatal
yeah.
Fury, and I can't remember what the other one was.
Okay. I mean, and yes, I am. Once again, those collections are great. I really enjoy them. Same thing, like 2XKO is a really fun game. And that makes sense. That makes a heck of a lot of sense that 2XKO is there. But yeah, I know. Every time I see those Video Game Award nominees lists, I'm like, guys, you know there are so many other fighting games coming out. It is such a struggle for me. I see some of the FGC talking heads say things sometimes, like they talk about. There was recently this past week on Twitter, a bunch of them were talking about how what was it, that fighting games are getting too easy, right? They're being simplified to the point that you're losing a lot of the interesting complexities, right? And I was like, all of their examples were like Street Fighter, City of the Wolves, right? And I'm like, it was like 4 different games that people were referencing, and I was just like, but you haven't looked at the wealth of indie fighting games that are not doing any of the things that you're complaining about, right? Yeah, and I think the Video Game Awards kind of, when people look at those nominees, it's the same thing happening, where it's like, yeah, if you're only looking at the big 5, then 2 of your 5 have got to be collections. That's the unfortunate reality.
Yeah. Logan's taking over, by the way.
All right.
He's seized a controller.
I can't play with a keyboard.
Well, apparently I
and Shane can't play with the Steam Deck.
I mean, yeah, if I kept the Steam Deck on, I probably would be fine.
Oh. Yeah, Atami is absolutely wild as well. I think.
Oof.
I think probably one of the best characters in the game. They have insane damage output, and I think they can frame trap people to heck. For the sickos in the audience, if you want to frame trap someone, definitely this dude with his chain and his fire nonsense is going to be your friend.
Logan's trying so hard.
I'm just chatting, steamrolling. Yeah, no, I agree, Sakura, that the indie sphere is where a ton of that innovation is happening. I mean, I think games like City of the Wolves, and like the kind of meter resource stuff that Street Fighter 6 is doing is also stuff that indie fighters were doing 3 years prior, right? It's like, I genuinely believe that some of those games set the stage for developers at Capcom to say, hey, right, this is the direction we need to go in. They were kind of on the forefront of reassessing the underappreciated gems of the Dark Ages, right?
I can do it.
Dang it. No, not the throw. Oh, you teched it.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah, what happened there? I need to like wind that back and recheck that.
Let's go to the tapes.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember if I mentioned, but like one of the earlier streams that you had done trying out the online multiplayer when it was like relatively new. I remember we had captured some footage from the stream and like frame by framed it to figure out some of the like inconsistencies that were happening.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, if I'm glad I could be
handy.
right. I'm glad I could be a helpful little part of the solution.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for giving me the last match.
Yeah. No, I don't take any dives. Oh, yeah, that's there's still some really interesting like throw interactions happening.
There you go, Logan.
Nice.
Oof.
Oh no. I missed the chain of my jump in. Nice.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and leave on.
Yeah. And on that note. always exit on a high note, right?
Right, exactly. Only because I want to say this, and it's not going to come back. But can we please get another Soul Calibur?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe eventually, when they have to release something in order to retain the marks and stuff.
Oops.
Yeah, that team sounds like they're just not
Well, because they're all
a
doing
thing as much.
Well, no, they're all doing Tekken.
No, the Tekken teams and the SoCal teams typically were pretty separated. At least in some of the earlier titles, but yeah, there was a little bit of like internal competitiveness between them. But from what I've heard, part of the issue is like there's not a lot of like vision right now for Soul Calibur. Like some of the original like leagues are not really as involved, which is a shame. It's a fun series.
Not the big rock. Oh, jeez.
Oof.
Ha 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 ha. All right, I think I found the one character that has a chance against.
He's speaking too soon. Oof.
Oh, maybe not. Oh, I just wanted the big kick.
Ha 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 punch.
I mean, come on. Big man throws rock, goes burr. Like that is
Yep.
That is a character people love. All right, I think I got a couple more matches in me here before I wrap it up for the night. Yo, is there, folks, Logan, Shane, is there anything you wanted to share with the audience? Tell the people, inform us about your game. Anything good like that?
Yeah, I mean, definitely we appreciate all the support from the community and the interest around the game. And like, if you haven't joined our community yet, please do. We have a really cool Discord where we hang out, talk about how the game's evolving, and just kick back and talk about general gaming trend stuff. Games available right now on Google Play and Steam. There might be some sales in the near future, so keep your eye out there. And yeah, be sure to tune in as well when we get back to our streaming series of Konsui Fighter Live, where we talk about game updates. We actually have quite a bit to share on some of the behind-the-scenes stuff that we've been working on lately once we get to our next stream. So we're just trying to pin down a time with the holiday schedule. Most people are getting pretty busy with that. But
Yeah, it's almost like the winter time.
yes, I know. Tis the season.
And there's usually sales in the winter.
That happen in the winter. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, good stuff. Keep an eye out for that.
Those. Yeah.
I mean, feel free if you want to drop a link to your Discord in chat,
Sure.
a link to the store page, any of that good stuff. Feel free there.
No!
I went to do it, but it popped out of full screen for a second. It was just blind. We'll get one in there. What if I switch to windowed mode?
All right, I think you're safe now.
Well, it's because it's gonna keep doing that.
Well, no, but like I lost.
Yeah, we have the brief intermission between matches.
That,
You wanted to
see that, and then now you're good.
That's really what this was. He just wanted me to say. Have we done? Can we do a Haku be Haku?
You certainly can.
Oh, will it
I
let us?
hold no responsibility. Well, okay, so it's kind of my fault. I will say the alternate color palette here is not final.
Not alternate enough.
It is just a hue shift.
All right.
Actually, that is one thing I will mention. Yeah, that we've been working on. We'll kind of showcase in our next stream, but we are working on the new version of our alternate colorways for characters. All right. We've talked a little bit about it on stream, but we've come up with a pretty, I think, kind of a pretty good way to like take the existing content and get some better colorways. Because right now we're just doing like a raw hue shift, and it's not great. It worked to get something in there for some visual distinction, but you know, that's always kind of been in the plan though. So we've actually got it in our internal build right now where we can create alt colorways and get them running in game. So we're kind of working on like defining those. We're still refining our method. The trickiest part for us is like we're dealing with like finalized content. Like we don't have like, we didn't set up all of this with like individual like color layers for the purpose of like palette swaps and stuff. So we've devised a method that can kind of do that. But
why would I punch the water and then take the damage? There we go. There's a use case.
I was gonna say yes. So the reversal as a use case totally works. This is we gotta try it out. Whoops. Konsui Masters, yo, yes indeed, Mohas. I think you might dig this character, Mohas. Man, I will say that yeah, it would be the throw teching is something that as we wrap up, let's on a little feedback maybe. Yeah, I will say that's one thing about the game that is hard for me to parse as a player. I think is throw techs. To KO's point earlier on in the stream where they were like, it feels like it's very, very fast. There's not a lot of downtime. I think one of the results of that is that it's it can be tough to know when I'm doing it. I will sometimes get a throw tech or a parry or something like that just by virtue of doing inputs, which sure is going to happen. But yeah, I think maybe something to convey that a little better, to like make it a, I don't know, like a point. Because there's, I guess throw techs often work as a reset in pacing, right? It's like if you get the throw, there's an extended knockdown, and that gives the player a chance to set up offense, and the defender has to react. But a throw tech just puts you back, but you still get that like momentary break, right? I think that would be good. I think that would be helpful for like match pacing and giving players like a point to react to.
Makes sense. Yeah, I think our tech right now is, I have to double check, but I think it's basically having the damage from the throw and automatically invoking a quick recovery on landing.
Okay.
But yeah, there's some different options you could do.
Yeah, because I mean that is that I will say like that would lead to more like immediate reset scramble situations, which can be fun and interesting, right? But yeah, I think if you're kind of thinking about match pacing and stuff like that, and how you want to tweak it, that might be an area to to explore.
Yeah. Cool.
Yo, this has been really amazing. I really appreciate Shane and Logan, both you coming through and talking about the game and talking about your experience.
Anytime.
Beautiful. Well, I will make sure to take you up on that one. Like I said, any parting words?
Logan. I did the last one, so
yeah. I mean, parting words for you again. Thank you and your community for supporting our game, and as well as the. I'm sure I speak on behalf of a lot of the other devs that you guys are. That you have talked to, but we greatly appreciate your guys' feedback and all that. So, but again, please check out Konsui Fighter. Join our Discord. We do have a lot of fun just talking. Not only game updates, but just games in general. And then the link that Shane posted was directly to our Steam page. Please give us a wish list. You can also download the demo, which gives you 2 characters, and you can also play online with that. So you could totally, see one of us online or take on Mr. MKL. Even though you just have the demo, it'll still work. So
amazing.
So yeah,
that's awesome. Well, thank you very much, everyone. Folks, I hope to see you online in Konsui Fighter. Definitely go check it out. Give the game a shot. Check out the community and support some indies where you can. Shane and Logan, thank you for joining. I appreciate your time. We're going to call it for the day, and we're going to raid over to Joe P. Real, who's doing some retro riffraff here. So this will be a nice little nightcap for us here. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I appreciate y'all, and I will see you next time. Let's go say hi to Joe now. Take care, everyone.